Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another exciting and informative Marketing Partners webinar with Travefy. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I am the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA, and I'm going to quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The presentation will run for about 35 to 40 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce your presenter, Stephanie Grice. Stephanie is Senior Education Manager and leads Travefy's education team. When she's not crafting engaging training for Travefy's tools, you can find her connecting with travel advisors and suppliers within the industry to collaborate and bring the best experience possible to Travefy users. And with that, the floor is yours, Stephanie.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. If you've been joining us in our little series, our webinar, we've think it's been every month almost, like last month, which it's flying. It feels like it was just a week ago that I was last chatting with you all here. But I'm really excited for this webinar because of what we're going to talk about today is really exciting stuff. So I'm just going to dive in here. And the thing that we're focusing on today is marketing your cruise trips with Travefy. So this is really important because I know a lot of times, we have a bunch of different tools in Travefy, which I'll talk about. But typically, like last month, we focused more on the itinerary side. The month before that, we were focusing on our CRM, our forms. But this one is probably my favorite when we're talking about marketing specifically and how we can use Travefy's website and landing page builder. So I'm really excited for it. But just to kind of walk through what I have laid out for today is one, first, before I really dive into just the website landing page builder side, I do want to do a quick overview of all of Travefy's tools because again, there's quite a bit of different tools that you can use. And even though we won't be able to spend time on every single one today, you still get a good overview if you are new to Travefy and kind of curious what all we do. So we'll walk through that. And then the core of today is really going to be a demo and a walkthrough of how to market a cruise using Pages. Now, again, that's our website landing page builder, which you'll learn, you'll know everything there is to know at the end of this on that. But then after that, I do want to talk about how do you get started with Travefy. So if you aren't a user currently, how you can get a free trial, sign up, what does subscription look like, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to talk about how you can get additional training, support, resources after this webinar, and then do a Q&A too. So I'll make sure I will have some time to do Q&A with you all at the end as well. So put those questions in there as I'm going through, and we can hopefully get those answered at the end. So now here's where I'm going to begin. Now, if you are a Travefy user, you might know about all this stuff, but I also want to be surprised if there's things you didn't know because there's so many things in Travefy. Now, if you're not a Travefy user, we have been around for quite well. We started in technically like 2012, but 2015 is really where we started working with advisors specifically. And we started as an itinerary builder where we have like a mobile app that your clients use, all that good stuff. But over the years, we've expanded this to so much more. So I love showing this slide and walking you through like an entire sales workflow process and all the different ways that Travefy touches your business. Now, every tool that I'm going to show you, it's again all part of one Travefy account. So it's your one subscription. So nothing that I talk about is like extra. It doesn't cost extra to use. It's not another platform. It's all within Travefy. So the first one, and luckily, this is actually what we're focusing on today, is the marketing. So when it comes to marketing, Travefy has a website and landing page builder. Now, I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about it, obviously, but just a high level is that really what it is it can either be your main website, or if you already have a website outside of this, you can still use this to create one-off landing pages. And that's what we're going to do here today. And you'll get to see, how you can use it for literally anything you want. And it's awesome. It's so cool. So we're going to talk about that today. So I'll leave it as it is now. But then another thing that we do offer is we also have form builder. So we have the ability where you can create forms. So whether you need to get, new traveler information, or maybe it's a sign up form that you're plugging into your website, no matter what it is. But we also support e-signatures and credit card authorization because we're PCI compliant. So we are 100% PCI compliant. So you can use this to capture that payment information safely and securely. And it's really easy. It's a win-win. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Say goodbye to chargebacks. If you've ever had to deal with them, this will help. So really awesome tool in there. But then that kind of brings us into our client management area, where once you start getting like form responses, you typically, you need to keep those organized in one place. So we have our CRM that we call it contacts in Travefy. And that's where you can always go view all your client contact details, but then you can see like what trips you've shared with them, what forms they've filled out, maybe have document storage like passport photos. All of that stuff is safely secured in this area. So it's really, really great. And again, it's all built into one account, which is nice. But then that brings me into the sales side of, if you use Travefy to create your quotes and your proposals, this is really awesome. Our proposals allow the client to actually like approve it and go through a process where they're saying like, I approve this, all that good stuff. And in fact, we just released literally an hour ago, you can opt in and start using it. We just released another part of proposals where you can attach multiple forms and you can present like different options like side by side so they can view them all. Go check it out. If you're already a Travefy user, if you go in your account, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's really cool. And then finally, the last part is itineraries. So if you don't start with a proposal, you could also just start with an itinerary, or once that proposal is approved, it can convert into the itinerary. But the itinerary is essentially the same thing. It's just that the itinerary allows your client to get a PDF copy that they can print off of it, or there's also the mobile app. So that mobile app also, of course, allows your clients to view trips on the go, all that good stuff. It's incredible. The mobile app's really nice. But again, all of these tools, we would be here for hours if we talked about all of them. So I'm focusing in today on the website and landing pages. So that's really where we're going to spend our time today in the process. Now, one thing I do want to note is we won't have a ton of time to really talk about all of this, but we do also have so many different things in here where, we have different integrations. We have cruise line integrations that are even getting better. It's so cool. But we have a database. So if you've watched our webinar where we do put together like an itinerary, you'll know what I'm talking about, where you can just pull in, cruise information. We have destination content, a lot of photos, live flight alerts. I mean, all of that stuff, all of that built in. So that's the thing that's great about Travefy is all of the suppliers integrations that are just built in for you to use, which is just incredible. Now, one final thing I want to talk about before I actually really dive in here is I'm going to talk about kind of a lot. It might, especially when it comes to the page builder, you might need to come back and be like, wait, how did you do that again? Well, here's the good thing. We have support ready to help you. So right after this webinar, if you need more, you can always schedule a one-on-one training with our team. In fact, you can do as many of those as you want. People don't realize that sometimes. And yeah, we're here for you. And then we also have, tons of video tutorials, whether it's 2 minutes long or an hour long. And then we just have our FAQs. We have daily webinars. I mean, there's just so much going on all the time that we are here to help you. So keep that in mind as I'm going through everything today and you're like, this is a lot. And we didn't even, get into all this other stuff I want to learn. Go to our support center, which I'll show you how at the end, and we can help you out. We also have live chat in your account. So if you're after this building your own landing page, you can actually chat our team if you have any questions, and you can just chat with a real life person. No AI here. It is just straight a real person talking to you on the other end. So, so just keep that in mind, as I'm going through things up, there's a lot that we can help you with in there. So with that being said, I want to get to the fun part here. Now, we want to talk about pages. Now, before we fully dive in, I really need to give you a big picture of what pages is, how it uses, and why use it in Travefy? Well, first of all, what you can do is we call it pages. I'll show you in your account where you find it. But what you can do with pages is you can build, again, your main website, or you could build your own website and you can still host these one-off landing pages, or you can just use this builder for your one-off landing pages. So think of it as like if you need to create like a group trip. That's a big one. Group trips, group cruises, you're promoting a specific cruise. Maybe you're promoting a certain destination or a service. This is what you use this for. And it's so amazing because one, it's very simple to use. So you'll see that there's no coding involved. So if you're familiar with websites, you might think like, oh my gosh, like WordPress, even like Wix could get confusing. This is simple stuff. That is the point of it. We wanted it to be simple. And you will see when we're building one here. The other thing that's really great about it is you can have unlimited amount of pages. So if you have you have like all these trips always going on and you're like, I want to create a page for every one of them, you can have as many as you want in there. Also, this is going to be part of your subscription, so there's no extra cost to using it. And then the other great thing is a lot of times people ask, like, what if I have my own website? Can I still use this? And of course, the answer is yes. You can always use this, and then you can get the URL to each page and put it on your other website. You can link them together. But the other great thing is we also do support domain masking. So if you own a domain, so like if you own viptravel.com, you can actually set it up in Travefy. So that way these websites also have that URL too. So there's seriously so much you can do. And in fact, I wanted to start off by showing you examples of real life ones that were built with Travefy, just to give you an example. Now, this one right here, this one is for a cruise ship. Now, this one's pretty long and intense, which is awesome. But keep in mind, it doesn't have to be, as long. But this was all made with Travefy. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to walk through like how you would do all of this here. And you can see there's links to book things right in here as well. All of that good stuff. It's right here. And then here's another example. This one right here, I actually created for a sample. But this is another a cruise here as well, another river cruise, where you can see, and I put like the trip in here, and then we have like a form they can fill out if they're interested. And you can see how simple this is? It's just, and these are called elements. We'll talk about them, but look at how cool this is. I mean, how great. What if you're at like you're chatting with a client and you're like, "Oh, you should go check out my the Tulip Time River Cruise. I think you'd love it." Or you want to put this in your email newsletter or share it on social media. That's what these are for. And so that's what's so cool. That's why I get really excited about the page builder, because literally possibilities are so endless when it comes to these. So now that I've hopefully gotten you really excited about this, now let's actually walk through it. This is going to be the demo portion of this webinar where I'm going to truly show you how simple this is. And we're going to put together an entire website, an entire page just to support one river cruise. So I'm going to use a river cruise as an example, but again, you can do whatever you want with them. But we're going to build it together, and then I'm going to give you the template to what I build. So if you have a Travefy account, you'll actually be able to go ahead and add that to your own account and use this. Sounds good, right? I love it. Okay, we're going to dive in here. Now, I'm going to go first into my Travefy account. If you've never seen Travefy before, this is what you'll see. You'll be able to see all your trips listed in here. You can, go and edit them from here. But we want to focus again on the pages, the website landing page builder, which again, we call pages. So we just leave it at that term. Now, where you access your pages is at the top toolbar, right to the right of trips. You'll see, hopefully you can see that on your screen, might be a little smaller, but you'll click on pages. And now, if it's the first time that you're going into pages, you will see like 4 different layouts of website themes you can use, because we do give you 4 different themes that you can pick from. Now, it doesn't really matter which theme you pick, because when you first get in there, because you'll always be able to switch your themes out. So unlike many other website builders, you're kind of stuck with it. But you're not. You can totally decide, because we realize you need it based to fit your branding, but you also might want to change the theme up to fit a specific whatever it is you're promoting, like the different themes. So that's how that'll work when you first get in there. But then the first thing you'll want to do is at the top here. So this automatically pulled up a website that I had built before. But if you look at the top here, this drop down, these are all of your pages. So remember how I was saying you can have an unlimited amount of pages? That's what I mean by this. Like, look at how many I have. And then I could just keep creating more and more and more. So each one of these is its own page. So that's what this is. In fact, here's that tulip time one. Here it is right here. And you can just see I can go in and I can quickly edit things right in here as I need. But let's create a new one. So we're going to create a brand new page here. Now this create from library that you'll see above, you can actually save pages as templates. So if you do end up using pages a lot, you can always save templates, and then you can just pull them straight from your library. So you don't have to start from scratch, which is really cool. Really, really nice there. That's kind of a newer thing we released a couple months ago. But otherwise, I'm going to click create new page because we just want to start brand spanking new. So now some high level things I want to go over now that we have a new page is, one, you can see over here on the right hand side of my screen, you can see this is kind of where I do like all my settings for this page. Well, if you click theme, so right in the middle, click theme, this is where you can really do those customizations. And remember how I said, don't worry about choosing a theme and being stuck with it. You can change it. So we have different themes. So you can see here's the Azure theme. Here's Stellar, which is kind of like a darker, really cool. I actually have seen this one used for, there's like a well, there's probably multiple crews, but like for Northern Lights. It's pretty cool. It's a really cool theme for that. And then there's Kaizen, which is kind of like a simple classic one. And then we have Santorini as well. So currently we have these 4 themes. And then you can select the theme you want. But then you can also go a step further. You can change the theme color right up here. And this is going to change the color in certain areas. Like it might change the button, some text colors. So if you know the color of your company, or if your branding has a specific color, this is where you could put that in. Otherwise, you can also just kind of find like different, colors if you want. Like, I'll just do like this color here. You can kind of play around with it, see which color works best. But it does give you that more branding control there. And then another thing to point out is you also can update this favicon. This is going to be a fun learning thing. If you've never heard of a favicon, and it might be favicon. I always say fava, but it could be fava. This favicon. What that is, have you ever noticed when you have tabs open? Now this can be really small on my screen, but notice the tabs that I have, and it's like it's that Travefy airplane logo. That's a favicon. So you can actually upload your own favicon. So if you have your own logo, you can put that in here, so that way it appears when people have that tab open on their browser. Pretty cool, huh? So it's very small though. So you'll want to remember it's a very, very small logo right there. So that's what the favicon is. Now, when it comes to your actual logo, I mean, that's probably one of the most important things. You're going to find that right up here in the top left-hand corner. That's where we give you space to upload that. So you'll just want to if you click into this element, it's the nav bar. That's where you'll upload your logo. So that's where that's going to go in there. So if you're wondering, you're like, where does my logo go? That's where we recommend putting it right in there. And then one last thing I want to share with you, and then we're going to move on to actually adding things in here, is I also suggest putting in a page slug. So get ready. This is the second thing you might learn today when it comes to websites. A page slug is basically the text that goes after the main website URL. So let's say I tell you to go to travefy.com, but I say go to travefy.com/pages. That pages is what the slug is. So what you can do here is you can put let's just put River Cruise 2024. But what's really important about this slug, why I like to talk about it, is because if you're out and about and you tell somebody like, hey, go to my website or just go to websitename.com/river cruise, like things like that. That's how you make those URLs really simple and just easy to just relay or keep it short. That's what that is. So that's how that works. Um, and then I also can give this a page title, which this is just for you to know what this is here. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And now we have just our basics set up, our theme, our color, pretend we put a logo in there, favicon, all that kind of stuff. But now is the big part, the fun part of actually customizing this entire site. Now you can see we have elements already in here. Now we call these elements. An element is little sections. So like this section is an element. This section is another element. You can see as I click on them, on the right-hand side is where it opens up. So that's where I edit. So those are each their own elements. Now, if you ever want to add a new element, you're going to come to the top right-hand corner, click elements. There's a lot of different elements now. We have different like colors, like see, even just for the nav bar, we have like 3 options. So you can always change those out and then you just drag and drop them in. So you're just gonna drag and drop these in. That's how that works. So when I say how simple this is, it truly is because it's just drag and dropping elements and then editing those elements and then it's good. That's all it is. And so it really allows you to truly customize this however you want it to look. And you can see again, like we have an element for just an image. There's elements to add itineraries. There's elements for a photo carousel. We even have a Calendly embed. So if you use Calendly, which if you're not familiar, it's where someone can, pick a time to schedule a time with you. You can actually embed that in here as well. So there's a lot. There's a lot that you can do. And I'm going to add at least one of these with you here today. But what I want to do is I just want to start editing what I currently have to kind of give you an idea of just how easy it is to put these together. So let's start doing that. Now, again, the example that I'm doing today is I'm pretending like I'm trying to promote a river cruise. So I'm saying I'm putting together a river cruise. I'm trying to promote it. So this could be, again, it could be a group that you already have like cabins set for, or maybe this is like, no, I just think this cruise is awesome and I want to promote it. Maybe it's that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the top. Now, I want to edit this top part first, and this is called the hero. This is the hero element. That's what it's called. This is really important element because this is what somebody sees when they first come on here. So we need to make sure this is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a headline in here, and I'm going to say touch history on the Danube. And this is where you could start using like if you also are like I'm not very good at coming up with like interesting way, like this, what I recommend is one, kind of use what the supplier might say. Like the supplier probably has a lot of really good wording, but also you can chat GBT it. You can do that. But I think it's really important, and you can also keep it really simple. But I think it's fun to play up on the words and really try to draw people in because again, this is marketing. So you really want to make sure like this is like, oh, I got to go on this. Like this is really cool. So there's again a lot you can kind of do with there, make it as short as you want if you needed. Um, but then one thing I want to do also, you can see I added a headline or a heading, and I also added a subheading, which you don't have to do, but I added that in here. But one thing that I want to do is I want to change that image because this image back here is not the Danube. So we want to change that. So I'm just going to click into this image area. Now, one thing you can do, you can certainly upload your own photos. So if you have your own photo you want to add, you can. You could also pull from a website if you want it as well. But honestly, one thing that I love is Travefy has a database of thousands of free stock photos. And all these stock photos are one, they're totally free to use. And then two, they're also really high quality and large. So they're going to fit on various screens that this might be viewed on. So I like using them. So I'm just going to type in like Budapest here. And then I'm just going to get one of these pictures here. So let's do like this one maybe. Let's see if this one looks good. There we go. Well, actually, let's change this. And this is where it gets kind of fun. You kind of can, you can kind of play around and see like what looks good with that text behind it, type of a thing. So maybe we'll just do this one. There we go. Beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? See how easy that was? So now we have, our main top point. Now let's scroll down one now. This element right here. This element we call an A side. Now you can have it on where the picture is on the left side. You could also add the element where the picture is on the right side. So you have some flexibility here. But I'm going to keep it like this. And I'm just going to add some more information. So I want to really if someone came to this website, I want to start to make this compelling for them so they keep scrolling down. And so the next thing that I'm going to add is I'm going to add cruise at a glance because I want them to know that's what this is. This is going to come in here and I'm just copying and pasting stuff that I've put before. But you can see there's the heading. I'm just going to use the subheading to say cruise from here. And then, and I'm not going to lie, I literally pulled this from the cruise website. So I didn't add too much work for myself. Just kind of keep it simple and just give them a high level overview of, what this is. And then the other thing again, once again, photos, 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 photos. They're the most compelling piece of this. So I'm gonna once again choose another photo and just click image. And I'm gonna once again use our free stock photos. And this time I'm gonna do Croatia. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to do this picture right here. There we go. And there we have it. Now, here's something that's fun. I will show you this at the end, but one thing you can also do anywhere in this page is you can add buttons. That's always one of the big questions that people ask is they're like, how do I link to my website or link back to my website or link to my Facebook? Well, that's all just with buttons, which you can add anywhere in here. So if I wanted to add a button just on this area right here, I could say add button. And then you can see how that just displayed down there. And then in here, you can choose, is this going to another page that you've already created in Travefy? Is this going to an external link? So if you have another website, maybe that's where it's going. Or is this going to an email address because you want them to contact you? Or is this going to a form that you've built in Travefy? There's many different options, and you can also choose them to jump to other sections of the page. So if you did have a longer landing page and you're go to the itinerary or view the itinerary, then you could always go to that too. Which actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to say view full itinerary, and then you're going to see once I add that in, it will jump that to the full itinerary once I add it. Stay tuned. You'll see. If you're like, what? You'll see what I mean by that. So it's really easy. That's why I love this so much. But I'm going to add one more. I just want to add one more element just to show you a little more of what you can do. So I'm going to add, I'm going to click save out of here. And then I'm going to choose new element. And I'm going to add another element where there's a photo and then the text. So I'm just going to drag and drop this over. So there you go. You can see this now. Now we're working with a brand new one. And I'm going to pretend, I'm going to add a client testimonial here. So I'm going to just put this a little snippet of their review. And then I will put client review. And then I'm going to just copy and paste their review in here. And then in that image area, this would be a really great place to upload their photo from their trip maybe. Or I have, this is kind of funny, but I have a woman with camera picture that I used on the template that you're going to get. So I'm just going to use that. But there's this one right here. We'll pretend this was our review person. But it's just really cool, again, just look at how nice that looks. It's very simple, very short, little, but it's just giving, showing you what you can do with this page builder there. Now, let's add something else. Now, since this is Travefy, and Travefy is known for our itinerary builder, Well, it wouldn't really make sense if you couldn't just quickly and easily import an itinerary, right? So we actually have the ability where you can and import any itinerary that you've built in your Travefy account into any page. So how that works is we have this element right here. This element we call a large card gallery. We also have a trip gallery. They're very similar but a little different. But what this allows you to do is this allows you to pull in itineraries that you've created. So that way the person on this website can go look at the full itinerary. So how this works is you have these little cards. So, and we call them cards. Now, let's say there's 3 of them we always give you. You can have unlimited amount. So this is really great if you ever want to make like a landing page that shows all the different trips like that you can work on, or that, some sample itineraries of things you've booked before. This is a great way to showcase those, which is really cool. But I'm actually going to delete 2 of these because I just want one to appear, because I'm just going to pull in the one itinerary that I'm promoting here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave all of this blank. I could put in like the heading. Actually, let's just put the heading in. I'm just going to say itinerary. And then you can put like sub stuff here. We'll just put description just so you can see where this goes. Description here. That's kind of where that goes there. But otherwise, when I want to import an itinerary, what you're going to do is you're going to click in to edit that specific card. So this might be small to see on your screen, but on the right side, there's like a pencil icon. So I'm going to click that. And now you can see this card just opened up now, so I can edit it. Well, I don't need to go through this one by one. So I'm just going to click import from import from Travefy down at the bottom. And then you can see you have the option to add an itinerary. So I'm going to click itinerary. Now I'm going to see all of the itineraries I've built in Travefy, and I want this Gems of Southeast Europe. So I'm just going to go select that and then check out what just happened. I now have like the picture from my itinerary. I could use this description area to add anything. So if I wanted to add a description here, I could. And you can do lots of formatting in there as well, which is nice. Another thing that's really cool is you also have it's called a badge, and you don't have to use it, but look at what happens. You can add things like if it's like pricing, dates, or like maybe it says like now booking. It's just like a cool way to just add it to stick out right there. Like I just added the date in there. You can see. So pretty cool. I mean, again, really easy. And I do want to note that we have FAQs on all of this. So if you're like, I am not going to remember how to do that, don't worry. We have videos, FAQs on that walk you through how to do that once you get to this part. But it's pretty easy, which is great. And then I can just go ahead and save everything and done. We're done. Like we have it in there. And then I'm going to add one more element and then I'm going to show you what this looks like and it'll really bring it together. But that's how you do that. You can add, again, this one itinerary, or you could add like 10 itineraries. It's up to you in there. Now, I want to add one more thing here, but it's not this. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this element by clicking on it. And then over here, right hand, I can click delete. So that's how you do that if you ever find yourself needing to delete things. But the last thing I want to do is this area right down here at the bottom. This is probably the most important area when you're building things to promote a trip, or to promote any service or anything. This area we call the call to action area. And so we make it, see how we make the image like really darkened out because we're really trying to be like, call to action. We need you to do this one thing when you come to this page. And so what I'm going to add in here is a form. I'm going to add a form that's in my Travefy account. So that way, if someone comes to this page and they're interested, they sign up, I get their information, and I can start working with them. So it's all that simple, and it's really bringing everything together. So how I'm going to edit this is one, I have clicked on it. Now I can edit on the right-hand side. And I'm going to say for the heading, I am going to say, get ready to discover the gems of Southeast Europe. And then I can use that subheading area and I'm just going to kind of tease them and say bookings are filling up so fast and quickly. They won't know if it's really, if it's like you're like, I'm really just testing this out. It's okay, they don't have to know. So let's say bookings are filling up. We really want to get them on this. But now the most important part is adding that button. So we need them to do something. So I'm going to click add button at the bottom here. And now again, as you saw earlier, I can click from this button type and I can link them anywhere. I could send them to a whole nother website. I could send them just to an email, or I can choose form. Now, if you're not familiar, if this is truly the first time you're seeing Travefy, we do have that form builder that I talked about. And with that form builder, you can make it as simple or large form that they need to fill out, or a really simple one that's just like, I just need your name, number, and email, and that's it. And then I'll contact you. You can really create a form for anything. So what you can do to create this form is you can import it, one that you already have. Or if we click new form, we could create one from here. So I'm just going to say cruise booking form. And then I can just add a question. We also have templates, so you can pull from templates. But I can just say like, what is your name? And then just say email. And maybe this is all I need, email address or phone number, whatever it might be that you need them to get. And then just go ahead and add that in. Now, the form could also be credit card authorization. So if this is a form for group trips, like you're literally like, this is the main place that you send people for this trip or destination wedding, whatever it might be, you can actually connect a credit card authorization form. So you can always say like, go to that link that I sent you, and it'll have all the forms I need you to fill out on there. You can do that too. So like I said, there's a lot you can do with this. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this button a title. We're going to give some text on there. And it's going to say reserve your spot. So that's all we have there. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We now just created a website. We created a whole page. Now let's look at what this looks like. So I'm just going to preview it. Let's just preview. And you can see, okay, here's what it looks like scrolling through. Oh, and by the way, you can view this on mobile. So if you want to see like, what would this look like if someone's viewing it on mobile, you can do that. And then watch this, see these buttons that we added. If I click view itinerary, see how it pops me down to that itinerary? Pretty nice there. So I can scroll down there. And then when I view the itinerary, it actually brings me in to the Travefy view of an itinerary. So again, this is probably what you're familiar with if you're used to Travefy, is what it looks like, for that itinerary. But what's great about this is there's a contact button in the top right hand corner where they can actually contact you from here instead of like getting an app, all that stuff. This is purely for marketing. So then you can see also down at the bottom, okay, get ready, reserve your spot. And then here's that form that we want them to fill out. They can do that all on this page. It's so incredible. I'm telling you, it's so awesome. And then, of course, just some final things that I want to note here is that once you have these pages completed, you're just going to click publish, and then you'll be able to get the URL for it right in here. So you can see that URL and you can copy it. So like if I go to that URL now, it just brings me right here in here, which is great. What I love about this too is that you can edit things without publishing it. So if you already have a website published, but you need to make edits, but you're not done yet, you can still edit everything and just not publish it yet. So it won't just like save automatically and show them everything, which is really handy. So lots you can do in there. And then you can take that link, you can put it social media, email marketing, on your website, link it back to your website, anything like that, all of that good stuff. Now, a couple tips that I want to give you is if you do start using a lot of pages, you can always copy pages. So you can copy entire pages, but you can also save them to your library. So remember at the very beginning where it's saved to library, and library is where you save content to reuse over and over again, but that includes pages. So you're actually able to just get templates for pages and then start using them. But here's where it gets better. So remember I said that this page that I build, I'm going to give it to you. So you actually, if you have a Travefy account, if you go to this link, which I'm going to share in the chat here, this link, this is what it'll look like. You'll want to make sure you're logged into your Travefy account, and you can click copy to library in the top right hand corner, and you can actually start using this page. You can use it, edit it, whatever you want. You can use it in there. But one other thing you can do is we released what's called Marketplace a couple months ago, and you can access that if you go out to your main page in Travefy. So this is, again, this is what you see when you first log in, and then click Marketplace at the top. And what this is content that's created by other Travefy users who have decided to share their content with anyone. So that could be like a form someone's created, some content for cruise info, resort info, anything like that. But there's also page templates. So when you get in Marketplace, if you scroll down, there's a whole page section. And a lot of these are so awesome. These will let you look at some of these, like here's the river, here's that tulips one. This is the one that I was showing you earlier. You could use this. You can literally go in and take this and start editing it and changing. It is so cool. So there's really no excuse to like, oh, I don't know how to even begin, because I don't know about you, but I get really indecisive when it comes to like creating content like that. So having things like these templates kind of already ready really helps. So I'm really excited for those, are so cool. But before I get into questions, a couple of things that I do want to talk about. Oh, and here's Marketplace, which I've talked about. Let me just scroll through these really quick here, because we talked about Marketplace here. But I do want to talk about some stuff that's coming, because especially for this audience right now, there's something huge. We are updating our cruise content, which is so awesome. And we will be, it's slated to be released in December, which is already in a few weeks, which is insane. But in hoping for December, could be sooner, where we'll have updated cruise database. So if you currently use Travefy and pull cruise content in, it's going to get better, where you actually can pull like cabin info and like really look at everything. So it's going to be awesome there. We also have, like what I said about proposals, we have what's called decisions, where you can lay out like a few different proposal options. So if you have, like you're offering your client like 2 to 3 different cruise options, you can actually go ahead now and you can put them like where they're side by side, and then that person can decide which one they want. How awesome is that? I'm sure those people who are Travefy users are like, oh my God, yes, it's very excited. Very, very cool. And then there's going to be more coming to that, by the way. So probably later next month, and I'm hoping that's how long it'll take, is we're going to actually allow you to choose like event levels. So if you want to say like you choose this cruise, okay, now what cabin do you choose? So it's going to be cool. So stay tuned for that. But we also have like integration stuff. We're going to be working on a lot of CRM functionality in 2025. So just a ton of stuff coming. So stay tuned, watch for all of that. And then if you want to get started today and you're not already a Travefy user, you can go to travefy.com. You can start a free trial. Now, what I recommend is during that trial, you can create those pages. You can create itineraries. You can do everything. But during that trial, I recommend get on a demo with our team, and it's one-on-one with a team member. You can explain, oh, I specialize in this and I'm looking to do this, and they can really help send you down the right path of what you need to do next, all of that good stuff there. But then that trial lasts 10 days. And then after that, if you decide to continue, we do offer a subscription package. So the subscription is literally, again, gives you access to everything in Travefy. So not just the page builder, but you're also the itineraries, those forms, all of that. And we have a special discount for you all. So feel free to take a screenshot of this. We do offer annual, monthly, or quarterly. And I'll show you the pricing for quarterly and monthly. But annually is going to be your best deal. So it's going to make it $30 a month when you have this 15% off, which $30 a month for all of that. Think about what you pay for like a website builder or forms. Like think about that. How insane. So it's really great, really good deal there. But again, if you do want to go, if you want to start off monthly, you certainly can. You could start off monthly, it's 49 a month. Or you can do quarterly where you just pre-purchase 3 months at a time, or that annual. And one thing I also like to note, if you want to start off monthly and just because you're like, I just need to make sure this is going to work for me, you can. And then if you want to upgrade to annual, you can still use that discount. So if you forget, if that does happen and you forget the discount, just let our team know. You can chat us in your account, or your sales team rep that if you end up working with. They can also help apply that for you as well. So we can always upgrade that, and apply that discount. So you don't miss out on it, which is cool. So now with that, the last thing I want to note, and then we can totally get into questions here, is I mentioned this earlier, but this support center is really helpful. I really recommend checking it out. This support center has so much in it. We have, again, those one-on-one scheduled trainings. So a lot of users forget this. If you're currently a user, you can chat with our team one-on-one as much as you want. So you can, pick a time, schedule time with us, say, I just want to talk about this time. You can do that. And then don't forget as well, took me out of there. Don't forget as well that you can also just chat our team in there. And then we also have we have webinars always going on, literally daily webinars. All kinds of stuff in there. And then we also have, if you go to our YouTube channel, which you can look in here. We do have like these really fun, like here's a cruise one right here, videos just showing you like how do you build this, how do you do that. You can check those out in there as well. But with that being said, I know that was quite a bit. I'm gonna add in the chat right now. I am going to add the link that you can get that free or the template that I was just showing you in there as well. But all right, what questions can I help answer if there were any that came in?
And I think a good portion of the questions was, where do I find the link? So that was
Yes.
perfect timing, Stephanie. So again, the link for that template, for that page, if you want to use that, she put it in the chat. So it's there. Just go look for that. And then we do have a couple questions regarding the membership. So hopefully that means everyone is excited to use this new tool. So for the account, I know that you mentioned the CLIA discount that they get. If they already have an account, are they able to apply that and change their account moving forward so they do get that discounted price, or are they kind of stuck until that next cycle is done?
It depends. I would reach out to our support team because it all depends what because that discount is for first annual subscribers. So if you're upgrading, you would definitely be able to. But if you already are an annual, reach out to our team and they can check your account for you and see. And then yeah, we can see what we can do from there. We also have partnerships with other like host agencies and stuff, so it's worth asking, to just again just chat in the bottom left hand corner of your account, just ask them, and they can take a look and see if you're eligible for any discounts.
Okay, great. So hopefully everybody got that. If you do have questions about your account, just reach out to Travefy. And for those of you who are looking for the chat, there should be like a little speech bubble
And you know
icon.
what, I'm wondering if it went through. Let me send this straight to see. I think
Okay,
it's worked. Is
Stephanie,
it
I
working?
think so at your on your screen, do you see where there should be like a drop-down menu in the bottom right-hand corner and it should say to everyone. You can send a message to
Oh,
everyone.
okay. I don't see that option, so that might be.
This is just the workaround for that. Everyone, I am going to be sending
Mhm.
Stephanie your emails, the ones that you registered for today's webinar with, okay? So she can send out the link directly to you guys in that email, if that works for you, Stephanie.
That does. Another thing I'll note too, I actually ended up putting it in Marketplace. So if you
Okay,
go into Marketplace, type in, okay, I think this will just come in. If you just type in CLIA, let's see, and then you just want, right here, here it is. So this might be the easier way to do it. Go
okay.
to your Marketplace, type CLIA, and then right there it is. So hopefully that helps.
Perfect. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we will get you that link, or you can go access it on the Travefy dashboard. Okay, and then just moving on here to another question. Yes, this webinar will be recorded, so if you did miss it or you need to review it, go ahead and just bookmark CLIA Global on YouTube. It'll be there. Okay, and let's just scroll down here, Stephanie. They did say that this was a lot of information. They are excited about it, but I think it was just a lot for them to swallow, but they are engaging in it. So that is a good thing. Okay, so they're asking for the web page that you create. Are they able, or is there a place that they would be able to put reviews that come in from their clients that they have already submitted to Travefy?
Absolutely. There is because basically that's where you could use one of those elements. So different elements that you would just have to manually do it. So I'll preface by saying that. But you can use different elements. Like one of the elements you could use is like the medium card gallery. So like if I drag and drop this in and see like each of these little cards you could have a review in. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. And that's what I would recommend because this is it's always kind of a lot when you're talking about the page builder because it's like there's so many things that you can do. There's so many different ways to use it. So one thing I would really recommend is again, I would schedule one of those trainings because that's going to help that's going to help our team just like hear what you want to build and then they'll show you it. They'll kind of walk you through like this and they can take real life stuff. So I would recommend doing that too.
Sure. And if, Stephanie, if for those attendees who might have missed it, how do they get in contact with your team if they do want to set up one of those appointments, or just block out some time so that they can work on this with one of your team members?
Yeah. So if you just, well, you could just email us at professional@travefy.com. So doing that, or if you go to our support center, which is just travefy.com/support, you can just click scheduled training. So it's just right here. And that's where you can find it. If you do have a Travefy account, you can also click in the top right hand corner of your account. There's a help button. It says help or it might say learn. And click on that, and then that will take you into schedule a training.
Great. And just another question here. Let's see. Okay, so they're asking, I know that you mentioned the free trial that they're going to be able to have access to. If they do things within that free trial, when they start their membership, they get to keep everything that we've worked on and tested within that free trial portal, correct? It's just going to transfer over.
Yep, and nothing actually changes. That's what's so nice about it is, yeah, anything, it's just the same account that you would have. So yeah, it just all stays in there so you won't lose anything.
Okay, that's good. Super seamless.
Mhm.
And we do have a couple more minutes here, Stephanie. Do you want to leave them with just some lasting thoughts or just things to think about when considering getting a membership, or how they could use this tool or any of the other Travefy tools that you've gone over in the webinar series to their advantage?
Yes, I would recommend definitely check out all the other stuff because again, if this was your first time seeing Travefy, this might feel like kind of crazy when you're going right into like a landing page website because that's just, Travefy there's you're thinking of different like the itineraries and all of that. So a couple things I would recommend is one, again, I recommend go to this support center. I truly love one of my favorite things is this getting started guide right here. If you go to this guide, we have over 26 videos. Now, here's the best part. These videos are under 5 minutes each. So they're really short, but they will take you through everything. In fact, we even have, see if you see under the pages, we have all these different things. Like there's a lot to talk about in these that I didn't even get to. And so you can see all those videos there. And again, they're all short, easy to digest in there. So I highly recommend that. But then other than that, I recommend again do the a demo or one-on-one with us, or join those daily webinars that we have, because even if you are brand new to Travefy, I would recommend check out well, we say weekly, but it's actually daily. It's like 2 times a day, a getting started one that I do, where it's really high level, and we go into the itinerary builder and talk about like how do you set up your account and all of that. It's like 30 minutes long. I highly recommend that. And then if you are already a Travefy user and you just want to like take it to the next level, we do have a tips and tricks one. But then I also recommend if you go to our YouTube page, so just Travefy YouTube channel, and we did a webinar last week where we talk about all of the new stuff coming because there's a lot. Literally, some stuff just dropped today, and so you can go check that out because we really walked through what's coming, what our plans are, what the roadmap looks like. And again, for cruises, it's pretty cool because we have some updated cruise content coming. Um, so I recommend that. One final thing, actually, that I'll note is again, this is a lot to take in, like so much stuff. But another thing that's really great is we have a Facebook group. So it's the Travefy official Facebook group. So if you go Travefy official, that's where you'll find it. And if you join that, that's kind of where that's kind of the first place we go to announce things when there's new stuff out. But it's really handy because you can also ask people like, hey, has anyone else built a landing page for a cruise? And then people can share things, and it's just a really fun community. So I'd also recommend joining that if you're interested as well.
Really great information, Stephanie, and I'm sure a lot of our attendees gained a lot of new information. And again, if you did miss the other two webinar series, this one and the other two are posted on CLIA's YouTube channel so that you can learn all about the tools that Stephanie and her teammate Bonnie did get to speak to us about over this webinar series. It is again at CLIA Global on YouTube, okay? And Stephanie, I want to thank you on behalf of CLIA
Yep.
and all of our attendees. Thank you for joining us today, this afternoon, and spending your afternoon sharing everything that Travefy has to offer. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we hope that you have a great weekend.
Thank you. Same to you all. Thank you so much. We love CLIA. So happy to help, and let us know. We're always here and happy to help all of you.
All right, everybody have a great rest of the day, and we will see you on the next session.
See ya.